Hey guys, Mr. T here, just doing a quick video, solutions video for the 2020 General Maths exam, for SACE. So let's make a start. Question 1. The speeds of cars travelling on a section of freeway have been found to be normally distributed, mean 95, standard deviation of 3. What percentage of the cars has a speed is expected to have a speed between 89 and 98? So percentage, we are doing a normal CDF. The lower is 89, the upper is 98. The mean was 95, standard deviation was 3. Chuck that into the calculator. Second vars, normal CDF, lower 89, upper 98, mean 95, 3, paste it, was 0.8186 to 4 dp. So therefore 81.86% of cars expected between 89 kilometers an hour and 98 kilometers an hour. A traffic analyst estimates 20% of cars travel too fast on this section of the freeway. What's the slowest speed that would be considered too fast? So we're looking at the top 20%. So let's just check. I haven't used this online calculator before. This is an inv norm question, and this allows me to set the direction of the tail left or right. Now, if you have an old calculator, the only direction that your tail can go to the left is to the left. So the position of the top 20%, top 20% also lies at same place as bottom 80%. So if you have a graphics calculator that doesn't show this tail left, center, right here, you would do this. Inv norm 0.8, 95, 3. In this case, because this is a newer calculator that lets you do left, the older calculator can only do left, so I'll show you the working out that it spits out. And it's set on left. And then 97.52 to 2 decimal points. But if you've got the newer calculator, you could do the 20% as the area, so or 0.2 bracket 95, comma 95, comma 3, comma right, and you should get the same answer. Second dist inv norm 0.2, everything else the same, but set the tail to the right. Also get 97.52 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, slowest speed of 97.52 kilometers per hour for fastest 20%. Moving on, the speed limit on this section of the freeway is 100 kilometers an hour. Speed camera has been installed. What percentage of cars would be expected to be exceeding the speed limit? So percentage, finding the percentage, we have normal CDF bracket. The lower end is 100 because that's the speed limit, and we're saying who's going faster than the speed limit, so that's infinity to the right, or E99. The mean was 95, the standard deviation was 3. Second dist, normal CDF, 100. Second E99, 95, 3. 0.0478 to 4 decimal points. Therefore, 4.78% of cars exceeding the speed limit. If 15 340 cars have passed the camera, how many cars would be expected to have been exceeding the speed limit? Well, we have the proportion as a decimal already, 0.0478 times that by the 15,340 cars. 0.0478 times by 15,340. 733.252. Therefore, 733 cars. It's the first page done. D, tick one box. Below to complete the statement, the estimation by the traffic analyst in part B was realistic, unrealistic. Part B and C. What's the statement? 20% of cars travel too fast. We've just worked out that 4.78% of the cars exceed the speed limit. I reckon unrealistic. The claim was 20% of cars too fast, but evidence shows 20% of cars go at 97.52 kilometers an hour or above, which is below the speed limit. There would be less than 20% going above 100 kilometers per hour, with data showing only 4.78% of cars exceeding the limit. Alright, so unrealistic, though there are still people speeding. Which curve on the graph below best represents the distribution of speeds of cars in this section of the freeway? Tick the appropriate box to indicate your answer. Well, we had the mean was at 95. Standard deviation of 3. So normal distributions are 3 standard deviations wide. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It appears to be C. The speeds of heavy goods vehicles travelling on the same section of freeway are normally distributed with a mean of 87 and a standard deviation of 5. Which curve on the graph above represents the distribution of speeds? So let's put a 85. 87 is the center, standard deviation of 5. 3, 4. 1 standard deviation, 1, 2, 3. 2 standard deviations, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is this sort of smaller dashed line, which is F. From the curves on the graph above, identify any two distributions with the same mean. C and D. But there's another option, or 2 of A, E, or F, because you've got 3 on the left there that have the same mean. Identify any 2 distributions with the same standard deviation. So we're looking for distributions that have the same width. That's D and F are both the same width. Are there any other options? Well, B is the same width as those. You could say or 2 of B, D, or F as well. It's another option. Okay, that's page 2 of the test, page 3 of the whole exam. Because you've got the front cover. Question 2. Yusuf is 23 years old, currently earns $32,000 per year, setting up his superannuation account, which earns 6.93% per annum, compounding quarterly. Employer contributes 11% of his salary, and Yusuf. So this is a highlight situation. Earns that much. Superannuation account earns 6.93 per annum, compounding quarterly. Contributes 11%. He wants to put an extra 3%. Show that 1120 is deposited in Yusuf's superannuation account every quarter. Well, employer is doing 11%, so 0.11 times by 32,000. 3,520. He's going to do his own 3%, 0.03 times 32,000. $960, 0, 8, 4, 4480 per year. 4480 divided by 4, therefore 1120 per quarter. Okay, calculate the balance of Yusuf's superannuation account when he is 65 years old. 65, take 23, 42 years of depositing into the super account. So N is 42 years, depositing quarterly, 168 deposits. The interest rate of the super account was 6.93%. PV. Doesn't mention that he's starting with anything, so it starts at nothing. PMT, he is putting 1120 in per quarter. The contents is what we are after, so solve for FV. PY and CY are both 4. So, apps, finance, TVM, 168, 6.93, 0, negative 120, both 4, alpha, enter. We have $1,093,536.71 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, 109,356.71 at 65 years old. 71 at 65. Calculate the amount of interest that Yusuf's superannuation account will have earned by the time he is 65. So the interest formula for an investment is the FV, 109,356.71, minus any money that was put in. There was no initial amount, but there were 168 payments of 1120. 109,3536.71. Take away 109,3536.71. Take away 168 lots of 1120. Oh, it's not the working out that I did. 1120. 188, 160. Now 109,3536.71. Take away 188, 160. 905,376.71. Interest earned. At the age of 65, Yusuf intends to deposit $1,090,000 into an annuity account. So to roll that over. That pays an interest rate of 3.5%. Deposit that much. Interest rate of that. Compounding weekly. The account will pay him a weekly income for 20 years. After he wants to use up all his money after 20 years. So what's he going to have? He's planning to die after 20 years. 20, lots of weeks, it's 52. 1040 weeks. The interest rate is 3.5%. He's initially putting in $1,090,000. He wants it to end up with nothing. And see why. It's compounding weekly, and he's taking out weekly payments. So 52. So apps, finance, TVM. 1040, 3.5, negative 101,090,000. We don't know what the PMT is. That's what we are solving for. Completely forgot about that. PMT is what we are solving for. 52, alpha, enter. 1457.69 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, approximately 1460 weekly. Because we just showed that was $1457.69. What do we have now? I should draw an arrow there. They calculate the balance in the annuity after 10 years. So, after 10 years, we're going to have to do N equals 10 times 52 equals 520. The interest rate was a 3.5. PV, we started off at 1,090,000. We just worked out that PMT was $1457.69. Solve for the contents after 10 years. FV, PY, and CY are both 52. Alpha, enter. 639,384.20 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, $639,384.20 at 10 years. Explain why after 10 years, halfway through, more than half of the original deposit is still in the account, because compound interest generates more interest early on as there is more money in the account at the start. The contents will be emptied due to the regular payments in the remaining time as less interest is generated on the smaller balance. Message. Currently, Yusuf is 23 years old and lives on $500 per week. Assuming that inflation is 2.5% per annum, use one or more calculations, he could maintain his current standard of living. Well, his standard of living is $500 per week, so indexed for inflation is the original amount, which was 500, times by 1 plus the inflation rate of 2.5% as a decimal throughout the term of annuity. He's currently 23 years old. He's going up until 85. 85 take away, this is 23. 62, he wants it to last 62 years. 1.025 to the power of 62 times by 500. 2311.26 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, cannot maintain the standard of living as only with drawing $1,457.69 per week when his standard will cost friggin' $2,311.26 per week towards the end. So he cannot maintain the standard. That is page 5 of the whole exam. Question 3. An upcoming gymnastics competition has 4 events. A club can enter a team of 4 competing in a different event. Winning team is determined by totals of its scores in the 4 events. 4 gymnasts. Now needs to assign each gymnast to an event. Coach has the placings. One represents first place, so 1 is better. So if we want the best team, we are minimizing, which is what Hungarian algorithm does. So we can use the table as it is. Smallest number in the top row, -1. Smallest number, smallest 5, smallest 4. So we get 0, 5, 5, 8, 4, 0, 6, 0, 4, 0, 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 2. Subtract from columns, take nothing, take nothing, take nothing, take nothing. So we can now do our lines. I can hit 3. I can hit 2. I can hit 1. And I can hit, oh, not the best order. I can hit 2 going across there. And I can hit 1 going across here. That's 4 lines. So I can select zeros, alone in its row and column. Not alone in its row, not alone in its column, leave it alone. Alone in its row, no, but alone in its column, yes. Then we have a box of selections here that are in the remaining rows and columns matching. So we have, the solutions we have are 0, 5, 5, 8, 4, 0, 6, 0, 4, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2. The worst bracket ever. So 2 solutions, or you have these 2 are definite. But if I have this column being done on the 3rd row, then I have this column being done on the 4th row. If I have this column done in the 4th row, this column will be done in the 3rd. So what are the solutions? Draw it up here. This box here. So Talia is doing vault. Always. Nozomi is always doing floor. But Kate can do uneven bars if Martina does the beam. Or Kate can do the beam if Martina is doing the uneven bars. Alright. Is that page done? Page 6 of the whole thing. Page 5 of actual questions. In the actual point scores achieved by each gymnast in the events, they're shown below. Use the information in the table to show which solution from part A gives the better team for the upcoming competition. So, I'm going to have to use different colours here. These were always the same, but we had the option of this and this, or this and this. So, solution 1. Solution 1 was 0.85 plus 13.275 plus 12.425 plus 13.750, 13.85 plus 13.275 plus 12.425 plus 13.75. Yeah, 53.3. Solution 2 was 13.85 again. plus 13.35 this time, plus 12.3, plus 13.750, 13.85 plus 13.35 plus 12.3 plus 13.75, 53.25. Therefore, solution 1, Talia Volt Nozomi Floor Kate Uneven Bars and Martina Beam gives the best solution with score 53.3 total for all events. That's page 7 of the exam done. Question 4. Tyler needs a new work van. He found a suitable vehicle for $43,000. Decided to take out a loan for 6 years. Considered the following option: 6.7 compound monthly, 5.6 compound monthly. Okay, this is a comparison rate or effective interest rate of loans question. State why the establishment fee at Bank A must be $0. Because comparison rate is the same as nominal rate. Therefore, no fees. So the establishment fee. Calculate the comparison rate for Bank B. I need to find payments. N. Six times 12 is 72. Nominal rate is 5.69% per annum. PV is the 43,000 plus the 499, so 43499. PMT we don't know, so solving for that. FV of a loan 0, PY and CY. Compounded monthly 12. So apps finance TVM 72, 5.69, 43, 499, nothing, 12, alpha, enter, negative 714.56 to 2 decimal points. So now we can find the rate, because we will go interest rate, solve for that. PV is now going to be the OG one, 43,000. But PMT is going to be $714.56 with a further 8 on top. So it's going to be $722.56. PY and CY both 12. $43,000.
Battery over 90%.
Thank you. 6.49 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, Bank B comparison rate 6.49% per annum. That's that page done. Page 8. Tyler also investigated other banks. Bank C approved a 6-year loan with an interest rate of 6.3. 6 years, 6.3, compounding monthly. Monthly repayment. He wants to halve the repayment and pay $359. What's the disadvantage of this? Give you a couple of options. Need to have money ready more often, which might be hard if he sucks at budgeting. With the monthly one, you've got twice as long, or slightly more than twice as long, to ensure your money's in order. Here, every fortnight you have to be ready. What else? If you're doing half of the monthly repayment, you're paying more than the minimum payment per fortnight, as half a month is longer than a fortnight. That's another possible thing you could say. They don't tell you what they're after. These are just legitimate ones that you might be able to mention. It's worth 2 marks, but they only ask for one thing, okay? So, up to you. How many fortnights will it take for Tyler to pay off the loan? So, N is what we're solving for. The interest rate of this new loan was 6.3. PV was for, what was it for originally? 43,000. PMT, he is paying negative 359.37 fortnightly. FV, end of the loan, you want it to be 0, PY and CY. Interest is compounding fortnightly. That's interesting. So to be able to make sure PY and CY match here, they've made it both compounding fortnightly, even though you don't really get to tell the bank how often to compound. So 6.3, 43,000, negative 359.37, 26. 141.48 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, 141.48 fortnights. One for 1 fortnights and 1 week, basically. Approx. Calculate the interest that Tyler will save over the life of the loan by making these fortnightly repayments instead of monthly. Do we know the default amount of interest? We haven't been able to work that out, so I default is going to be 72 payments. Was it 72? Yeah, 6 times by 12. 72 payments of $718. 74 cents. Take away the $43,000 PV. 72 times by 718.74. Take $43,874.28. I fortnightly 141.48 times by 359.37. Take 43,000. 141.48 times by 359.37. Take away 43,000. 7843.67 to 2 decimal points. Interest saved 8749.28 minus 7843.67. 8749.28 minus 7843.67. $905.61 saved. Step 1 of the strategy that Tyler could use to pay off his loan more quickly. So many options here for 1 mark, refinance to a lower rate. What else? Pay extra each fortnight. What else? Make a lump sum payment. Those 3 options are fine. That's page 9 done. 8 pages of questions done. Question 5. Organisers of a cricket competition in New Zealand are considering which city each team should play the majority of its games. To find this, they're using a number of supporters. Table below shows the approx number of registered supporters in hundreds for each team. Explain the meaning of the value 22 in the bottom row of the table. 2,200 registered supporters of South Africa in Dunedin. Complete the array below to carry out the first 2 steps needed to perform the Hungarian algorithm. So we need to subtract everything from the largest. The largest number was 110. 110 take 105, 5. Yep, so they've done those correctly. 110 take itself. 0. 110 take 90 is 20. 110 take 75. 75, 85, 95, 105, 35. 110 take 38, 72. The first 2 steps. So first step was invert. And second step, dummy row. Because the matrix is not square. So 0, 0, 0, and 0. Further steps have been done using the Hungarian algorithm to give the array below. On this array, show that the optimal solution has not yet been reached. Okay, cover zeros. The most I can cover is 4. then 3, 3, 3, 4 lines, 5 rows, optimum solution not reached yet. Complete the remaining steps of the Hungarian algorithm for the array in part C. So smallest uncovered number is 10. So we leave single covered 0, 0, 25, 18. Add to double covered 10, subtract from uncovered 15, 0, 30, 10, leave 20, 45, 15, 16, leave, 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 add, leave, 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 add, cover zeros again, 3, 3, 2,
Battery over 95%.
2, 2. Find zeros. Alone its row, alone its column, no. Alone its row, alone its column, no. Alone row, alone column, alone row, alone column, no. Alone row, alone column, no. Alone row, alone column, no. No. Alone in its row, yes. Alone in its row, alone in its column, no. Alone in its row, alone in its column, yes. So now, process of elimination. The only way that this row can be done is this 0, because this column has already been taken. So there. The only way this column can be done is with this 0, because it's taken along this row. And this row can't be done with this because well, possibly, but this is the most a line left over. Well, no, the explanation for that is like there has to be this because you can't do this row in this column, and that leaves this 0 left to select. Hence, find the optimum solution and interpret in the context of the problem. So we have doop, doop, doop. No, we had a dummy row there. Australia, Auckland. So we have, we'll just write the countries. Australia, England, India, South Africa, Auckland, Christchurch. Dunedin has no one. Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, Napier. Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, Napier. Interpreting the context of the problem, it is predicted that, I should have written the numbers, 105, 75, 105, 75, 75, 48. That's in hundreds. It is predicted that 10,500 supporters will attend for Australia in Auckland. 7,500 will attend for England in Christchurch. 7,500 will attend for India in Wellington. 4,800 will attend for South Africa in Napier. Explained by the organizer, the cricket competition might not use the solution to this problem provided by the Hungarian algorithm. So many options, you need 2 marks, so at least have 2, I reckon. Registered supporters not guaranteed to attend. They don't have to, they're just registered supporters. What else? Ticket sales is better. Ticket sales are a better predictor for attendance, not just being registered. Weather is a factor in attendance. Team performance is a factor in attendance. No one wants to come and see their team suck really badly, okay? So, a few options there. You need 2 marks, so make 2 points, okay? That is page 11 of 21 done. Question 6. The table below shows the world record height for men's high jump in centimetres and the year it was set. The data graph below. Use a linear model, calculate the R-squared value. So coefficient of determination, how do we get that? We need to enter the data. So L1, 1912, 1924, 1936, 1941, 1957, 1961, 1971, 1978, 1984, 1993. Columns 200, 203, 207, 211, 216, 223, 229, 234, 239, 245. Use a linear model, stat, calc, linreg, X and Y lists. I don't have diagnostics on, so I need to go second. 0 for catalog. Press matrix to scroll down to the D's. Diagnostic on. Enter. It's all done. Stat. Calc. Lin reg. The data was already there. So R squared is 0.9685 rounded to 4 decimal points. Hence state the nature and strength of the linear relationship. You don't get that from R squared. You get that from R, which is 0.9841 to 4 dp. Therefore, positive and strong linear relationship. Positive and strong. Which one of the following best represents the equation of linear regression linking height and year? We have A 0.5766. So possibly that. Take 907. That's the only option here. This is exponential on the right, and the left one, it's got the slope and intercept the wrong way around. Using the equation for part B, estimate in what year it predicts a height of 260. So 260 equals 0.577d. Take 907. Opposite of taking 907 is adding 907 to, so 260 plus 907, 1167 equals 0.577d. Divide both sides by 0.577. Cancels d, therefore d is 0.5577. 2022.53 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, estimated in 2022. No new world record has been set for the men's high jump since 1993. Discuss the reasonableness of your prediction in part C1 by considering your answers to earlier parts of the question. 2022 is a massive extrapolation, so that's my first point. (2022) is an extreme extrapolation from 1993, so unreliable. The relationship between H and D is only strong, so unreliable. Therefore, overall unreasonable or null prediction has no certainty. The correlation will continue the same past 1993. In fact, it would probably be flattening out as we approach the limit of human ability. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, there were significant changes in jumping techniques and materials used for run-up tracks. Lines are best fit for the data before and after 1960 was shown. Before 1960, records were increasing 0.368 centimeters each year. After 1960, records were increasing 0.698 centimeters each year. Therefore, the rate of improvement in high jump records close to doubled with the better techniques and materials. Okay, that's page 13 of 21. Precedence table below shows the tasks needed to complete a project in a pharmaceutical factory with a network diagram. On the network, draw the missing dummy link. Where is the dummy link going to be? It shares dummy link's going to be involved here. A, B, and shared are shared by D and E, but E has C. So what is the rule? For the dummy links come from the end of the shared prerequisites, which are A and B, to the start of the task with the other prerequisite, which is E. So the dummy link is going to come out of the end of A and B, and it's going to go to the start of E. Therefore, the dummy link will appear like that. Which one of the following statements is always true? Tick the appropriate box to indicate your answer. If task H takes more time than task K, not necessarily that, because if F took longer, then that would be the critical path. Tasks H and K cannot both be on the critical path. Not necessarily, because if they are both the same length and they are both longer than the path through H or K are both longer than F, they can be on the critical path. So process of elimination is going to be this, but let's check it anyway. If task K takes more time than task H, then task H cannot be on the critical path. Well, they start from the same place, so if task K is going to be longer than H, then it's going to be the critical path versus H, which won't be anymore. So that's the one. Page 14 done. Vitamin C tablets are produced in another part of the factory. The network of tasks for this process is shown below with a forward and backward scan, so they do it for you. This is in hours. I'll remind myself of that. What's the shortest time? Well, I don't like this because it hasn't done the full backward scan. Let's do backward scan. 30 takes 7, multiple ways to get through R and S. 31 take 10. 21 here, but 23 take 5. That 18 is from there. 23 take 2. 21, but 23 take 1. 22 through E. 18 take 4 or 11 take 3. 18 take 4 is 14. H take nothing. H take 5. 3. 4 take 4, 0. 2 take 2, 0. We've got multiple critical paths here. What's the shortest time which is possible to produce the vitamin C tablets? 35 hours. Man, writing's getting... List all the tasks that must be completed before task R can be started. Well, there's a dummy link down through to R, so we need A, B. We don't need C because the dummy link comes before that. We need K, L, and M, and Q. State the critical path or paths for the production of vitamin C tablets. We have no slack time here, and also no slack time through there too. So we have A, B, C, D, F, G, H, J, or K, L, P, D, same from now. Calculate the maximum time by which task S can be delayed without increasing the minimum completion time. S is 21 to 12. 21 take 12 is equal to 9. Therefore, S can be delayed up to 9 hours without affecting completion. The managers reorganize work in the factory and the time for task D is reduced by 4 hours. However, this increases the time taken for task Q by 4 hours. So they've written that for you. Carry out a forward and backward scan. 0, 4, 7, 0 plus 2, 2. 2 and 6 is 8. 2 and 5 is 7, so 8. 7 plus nothing through the dummy link is going to be 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is going to be the longest that you can go through there. 8 and 8, 16. 11 and 6, 17. 17, it could be 18 through the top. 19 or 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 is the longest way. 16 plus 5. 21 plus 7, 28. 28 plus 1, 29, or 16 plus 10, 26. 29 is going to be the longest way. 29 plus 4, 33. Backward scan. 33, 29, 28, 21. 21 take 5 is 16, but 29 take 10 is 19 through S. 21 take 1 is 20 through E. 21 take 2, 19. 19 take 6, 13. 16 take 8. 8, 13 take 3, 10 through P. 13 take 4. 8 take nothing is 8 here. 13 take 4, 9 through C. 8 take 3, 5. 8 take 6, 2. 8 take 5, 3 through M. 5 take 4, 1, or 2 take 2, 0, 1 through A. What's the critical path? K, L, Q, R, G, HJ. The managers had expected the changes to save 4 hours on the minimum completion time. How much time is actually saved? It used to be 35. Only 2 hours are saved. Give a reason why the managers did not save as much time as they expected. The changes were not made to tasks on because they changed D and Q. Tasks only on the crit path. A new critical path was formed by the changes which was only 2 hours faster than the original. Okay, so they always have to be wary of the longest path through a network is a critical path. If you make changes, you might form another critical path that isn't as long, is not as short as you thought it would be by making those changes. Okay? So many messages. I've got to pick up my partner's car for service. We got 2 more questions to go. Maya received an inheritance of $4,200 on her 18th. 4,200. That's probably important. The 18th. She invested the money in savings account with interest rate 2.1%, compounding monthly. She also began depositing $120 into the same account every month. How old will she be when it reaches 10 grand? So we need to work out how long it'll take. The interest rate was 2.1. She started off with $4,200 in the account. She is paying $120 into the account every month. We want to know how long it's going to take to reach 10 grand or FV of 10,000. PY and CY are both 12. So, apps, finance, TVM, 2.1. We don't know N, so leave it. 2.1. Negative 4,200. Negative 120. We want it to reach 10,000. It's happening monthly. 43.86 months to 2 decimal points. 43.86 months divided by 12. 3.655 years. Um, 0.655 times by 12. So 7.86 is around 8 months. Therefore, 3 years, 8 months, approx. Therefore, she will be 18, 19, 20, 21, 21 years and 8 months approximately. When it reaches 10,000, show that Maya will have nearly 21,200 in account when she turns 28. She's 18 now. 18 now, 28 is 10 years after. 10 times 12 is 120. I 2.1, PV negative 4200, PMT, she was chucking 120 in there. We want to work out what is in the account by that time. PY and CY are both 12. 120, alpha, enter, $21,188.61 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, nearly 21,200 when she's 28. Find the amount of interest that will be added to Maya's account over the following year, the year in which she is 28 years old. N is the 1 year of 12. I is 2.1. PV equals negative $21188.61 in the account. She makes a payment of $120. To work out the interest, we need to work out what it grows to. PY and CY, both 12. 1 year. 188.61. 21,188.61. Alpha. Enter. So it's going to grow to 23091.82 to 2 decimal points. Interest is what it grew to minus the amount that was put in, the principal, and any payments. There were 12 payments of 120. So 1188.61 plus 12 lots of 120, 23091.82 minus 22628.61, $463.21 interest added in that 1 year. If Maya's marginal tax rate at 28 is 37.5%, well, the tax is going to be the rate as a decimal, 0.375 times by the interest. That is $173.70 to do decimal points in tax. The calculations in parts A and B assume that the interest rate stays the same. What's another assumption that's been made? 1 mark. Just give you a range of answers. We assume she makes the $120 payment. What else? We assume nothing is withdrawn. We assume she does not make an extra payment. Any of those. 1 mark. Question 9, last one. General maths exam, 9 questions, 3 on each topic. Georgia has been investigating a maths puzzle called the Tower of Hanoi, which involves moving discs one at a time. Wow, Georgia should probably find something else to do with her time. The minimum number of moves required to solve the puzzle. With D disc is displayed on the table below, looks like it's exponential. The data Based on the scatter plot, y is linear not appropriate. The data very clearly curves upwards as number of disks increases. It's curved. That's why linear is not appropriate. Page 18, Georgia applies an exponential regression on the data and finds the values. A 0.629, B 2.135. Using appropriate variables, write the equation for the exponential regression in that form. Number of disks was small d, number of moves was capital M. So capital M is going to equal 0.629 times by 2.135 to the power of small d, which is the number of disks. Interpret the value of b in the equation in part B1 in the context of the problem. Well, 2.135 take 1 is equal to 1.135, which is therefore 113.5%. Therefore, in context, B means the number of moves to solve the puzzle increases by 113.5% for each extra disk. Find the R-squared value for the exponential model. Oh, we need to put the data in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 3, 7, 15, 31, 63, 127, 255, 511. Stat calc expreg. R-squared value is 0.9954 to 4 decimal points. Using the exponential equation found in part B1, find the predicted number of moves needed to solve the puzzle if it has 4 disks. Moves equals 0.629 times by 2.135 to the power of 4. For 4 disks, 2.135 to the power of 4 times by 0.629, 13.07 to 2 decimal points. Therefore, 13 moves for 4 disks. Page 19, down. Residual plot below was created for the exponential model. There's very clear shape to this. Considering the residual plot, which statement below best fits the exponential model? Tick the appropriate box to indicate the answer. The model is a good predictor because most of the residual values are very small. Generally true, but then you have these. Initially, the model is a reasonable predictor, but then it underestimates the number of moves. It's not underestimating. It's overestimating. It's estimating this, but the actual data is well below it. Initially, the model is a reasonable predictor, but then it overestimates. This is looking good. The model is not a good predictor because there is a pattern. Oh, this is tempting as well. There is one point about this that is correct. There is a pattern. It's a curving down line. There's one point about this that's correct. There are 2 points about this that is correct, because it is true that it's a good predictor to start off with, but then it overestimates, which is true because the predictor line stays well above the actual data points representing the residual. So I'm going to go with the third answer. As part of her investigation, Georgia tries adding 1 to each value to produce the new table below. What's the new exponential regression? So now it's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. What's the new regression? Calc, XReg. It's like 1 to 1. This is saying the number of moves is equal to 1 times by 2 to the power of d. R squared equals 1. Therefore, this exponential model is a perfect fit for the data, whereas before it was just very strong. This is perfect. Hence, give the equation for the exact relationship between the original variables m and d. Last time it was close. This time it's perfect. All right. So what we found is that P this time was just M with 1 added to it. Okay? So P was equal to M plus 1. So what's M going to be? M is going to be P take 1. Therefore, M is going to be 1 times by 2 to the power of d take 1. 1 times by anything is itself, so it's going to be 2 to the d take 1. Okay, so that is the equation for the exact relationship between the original variables m and d. Because Georgia did the extra step of adding 1 to all of the numbers of moves, you got a perfect relationship that allowed us to link the original, the OG relationship of m to d with this new one. M with 1 added to it was equivalent to p now, because m, remember, was 1, 3, 7, 15, etc. That allows us to rearrange the algebra to say that m is equal to p take 1. We worked out that p was 1 times by 2 to the power of d. So 1 times by 2 to the power of d minus 1. Simplify the 1 times by 2 to the power of d. Take 1 from that, and there you have the exact relationship. Okay, so I believe that is the end of the exam. Nothing more to it. I didn't time this. I think that was less than the time that you get, but hopefully that helps you out. And I'll see you in the next video.